Hello everyone and welcome back to Arsenal, where today we have a couple of very big games coming up. And last time out we played Newcastle, where we lost 2-1 in the FA Cup quarter-final, and then we played Fulham in the Premier League, where we beat them 3-0. Now in the FA Cup you can see that since then, in the semi-final, Everton actually knocked out Man City in the semi-final 4-2. And then Newcastle knocked out Norwich 2-0. And I don't know if the final hasn't been played yet, but it will be between Newcastle and Everton. Since then, we have played West Ham, where we drew, and then we had our two Europa League games against Lazio, where we initially beat them 2-0 and then beat them 5-1. So we are through to the semi-final of the Europa League, where we will be playing what is known in the game as Parthenope, but is actually Napoli. So that will be probably quite a difficult contest between ourselves and Napoli. We also drew against Brentford 2-2, which was just annoying, with Ivan Toney scoring the 2 goals for their side. Admittedly, on the XG front, they did outplay us, so we can't complain too much. And then we beat Wolves 1-0. And the 2 games we have today are Man City and then Spurs. So we've got a very important game against Man City, and then obviously the Tottenham game is important anyway, but it is the North London derby. And we can see in the Premier Division, this is how tight it is currently. Everyone, apart from Brentford and Fulham, have played 33 games, and we are sitting on 79 points, and City sitting on 77. So this next match between them, we could, if we lose, end up losing the top spot, which we have actually been in for the entirety of this season. We have not dropped outside of first place at all so far, but this game could be where it all changes. There's only 5 games left in the season, and all 4 of the top 4 teams could win it. I mean, you got City on 77, but then, I mean, United are on 76, and then Liverpool are on 73. I think we'll be fine for a Champions League spot, to be honest. That was pretty much the goal anyway. Would be nice to win the league though. We're already guaranteed Europa League, but I mean, Spurs on 60 points. I doubt they'll be catching up to us. So I think a top 4 finish is pretty much certain. But yeah, we're going to go into this Man City game with the ability to either extend our lead or potentially lose it. We have no injuries at all, so we should be able to field the best squad we can. And we're probably going to go for a 4-3-3. And we've dropped the lines as well. So we're going for a sort of mid-block standard defensive line. We're still going to be relatively like high tempo and more often press, just to be able to try and make some attacking. But we do have to be careful of the attacking threat that City have, especially with the likes of Haaland. But this is the team we are going to be fielding. We've got Jesus up front, as usual. Martinelli and Saka on the wing. And then in the little midfield block here, we've got Ødegaard, Partey, playing Scalvini as a DM again. And then we've got Tierney, Saliba, White, and Tomiyasu. Zinchenko has been playing amazingly, to be honest. I mean, last 5 games, 7.3 rating. So we might bring him on a little bit later on, swap him out for Tierney if we need to. Immediately from kickoff, we have a highlight. It is our kickoff by the looks of it. Ødegaard sort of just passing it around the back here, and White does a long ball over to Saka. And is he going to be able to get in? That was a really weird goal, but we're 1-0 up in 30 seconds. I'm speechless. I wasn't expecting that. You see White literally just does this massive long ball over to Saka, who's able to time his run perfectly to not be offside, and then just sort of the keeper saves it, but not properly, and Saka then just basically passes it into the goal. But we are 1-0 up already. I say that is quite a weird City kit. I don't know if I like it, to be honest. The blue and then the sort of reddy maroony colour on the shorts. It's a bit weird. 21 minutes in, we have another corner here. Martinelli once again taking it. Whips it into the box. Is anyone able to get ahead to it? No. Saliba sends it back to Martinelli, who puts it in himself, and we are 2-0 up in the first 20 minutes. This, yeah. Very unexpected. I mean, they haven't even had a single shot yet. They have finally had a shot by the looks of it, but we do have a highlight here. They are on the ball, sending it down the wing, but we managed to regain the possession there with a lovely tackle from Tierney. Sends it backwards to Saliba, back onto Tierney, onto Martinelli. Can we get it through to Jesus? We can, but he's not able to do anything with it. Tierney once again on it, though. But he gets dispossessed by the City player. And looks like they might have a run, but we managed to get the position back again. Martinelli, can he get it in the middle to Jesus? Just about, and that is 3-0. This is an absolute whitewash of City so far. I mean, I know I dropped the lines, but I was expecting we probably wouldn't have as much attacking threat, given I dropped the lines. But, I mean, 13 shots, 7 on target, already a 2xG, and we're 3-0 up. And they've made a couple of substitutions already. They've taken Haaland off. They're 3-0 down, and the best thing they decide to do is take off their main striker. No idea what Guardiola is thinking there. But we do have a highlight where we are on the ball. Tierney onto Martinelli. Can he put it into the box for somebody to get their head to it? No, he passes it on to Thomas, who gets dispossessed, but we have it back. Martinelli onto Odegaard, and he's not able to get it into the net this time. But yeah, they've taken Haaland off for Grealish, so they've now got Grealish as a false 9 in that striker role. I mean, assuming United win their game, there's every chance that, United will end up above City. Saka with a lovely long ball over to Martinelli. Will he make himself have 2 goals? He does, off of the City defender there. Nice assist from Saka as well. And that is 4-0. I was thinking we should make some substitutions, but they're all playing so amazing now. I don't want to take anyone off. Look at the ratings they've got, though. Like, their winger there was on a 6.1 rating. They almost got a consolation goal back there, but it hit the crossbar and went the wrong way. But they do have a corner. Now, in this game, these set-piece tactics from the AI seem to be amazing. They always seem to score from them, but we'll have to see what's happening. As Liverpool is 2-0 up currently against Spurs, and we're immediately on the attack. Ramsdale sending it out to our defender straight away, but that highlight has ended, so nothing is going to happen there. But 73 minutes in, and we really should probably make a substitution. City haven't even had a single shot on target. Maybe we should stick with this sort of formation more often. I mean, I was doing those, the high press against other teams, but maybe the normal mid press actually does work. Everyone's just playing well. I don't know who to take off. Maybe Tomiyasu. Do we have Aaron's available? We do. We'll put Aaron's on. Take White off. Holding, I guess. We've got all our main centre backs on the pitch, but we'll take White off for Holding. Saka's playing amazingly, but we don't want him injured, so we will put Vieira on the right wing. Well, we just had a highlight that I didn't commentate because I didn't think anything was going to happen, but we'll see it here. Odegaard, lovely long ball over all the defenders onto Martinelli, who then sends it onto Jesus, and from outside the box has an attempt and gets it in, and that is 5-0. And it's saying we should take him off, but he's had 2 goals, so he could get himself a hat-trick here, so I'm not going to take him off. But we probably should make another sub, maybe Scalvini. Who could we put on? I guess Lokonga, give him a game. Why not? Put him on. And we have another highlight. Honestly, this is the maddest game ever. Genuinely, coming into this game, I thought we would probably lose and it would be a fantastic result if we got a draw. But we are 5-0 up. Thomas onto Fabio Vieira, through the middle onto Jesus. Will he get his hat-trick against his previous club? He does not. Not yet, anyway. We do have a corner to go. So he still has a chance here as Vieira is taking the corner here. Puts it into the box. Can anyone get their head onto it? Somebody does. But the City guys are able to defend it as it's back in there. And Thomas makes Ederson have to do a save. But no goal for him. Unfortunately, we actually managed to make City not have a single shot on target. It's insane. We had 12 shots on target against them. Mahrez had an awful game, 5.8 rating, and you can see throughout the entire game, we were just far, far better than them. I still don't understand their tactic of taking off Haaland for Grealish. I'm not sure if he maybe got injured, but that was a very weird tactic from them. But a 5-0 win against City for us is far more than we could have asked for. Absolutely crucial for our title chances. How did the other games go? Liverpool beat Tottenham 4-0, and United actually drew against Aston Villa. Because of goal difference, they do go above City. So it means there's actually 5 points now between us and second place, with only 4 games remaining. So it is now time for our Spurs game, and we have a 12:30 kickoff, so we actually play ours before everyone else. And those that are playing are Liverpool against Man City. So as you can see, that is going to be a very, very important game as well. We are not really going to change anything from the lineup against that we used against City because it works so well. We're going to stick with the mid-block standard defensive line. But we have had to make one change, and that is swapping out Martinelli for Zinchenko. And that is because he did pick up a little bit of an injury. So, yeah, like I said, he remains way short of full fitness, so we've had to put Zinchenko up there instead. In an ideal world, we would have put Smith Rowe there, but in one of the games off camera, he picked up a red card, which meant he's been out for 3 games now, so I don't even know if we can have him back for the next game. But we're going to stick exactly with this and hope they play as well as they did against City. But that was probably the least interesting first half of a game of football I think I've ever seen. We didn't have a single highlight at all in the first 45 minutes. They've had 3 yellow cards already, but I think we're probably going to have to push the lines up a little bit to be able to get something happening in this match. Don't want to go too crazy though, but yeah, we're going to say, I don't know, just do that. That'll motivate them. Maybe go to positive. We are pushing the boat out a little bit, going a little bit more positive, but we kind of have to when they're playing this sort of formation. You just have to do something to try and get through it because, I mean, it's 60 minutes and we still haven't created anything. Going to sub Saka off for, we'll go for Almada and then put Ødegaard off for Vieira maybe. See if bringing on some subs is going to help. I don't know. We'll have to see. Okay, we have a highlight. And it is involving us, which is nice. Zinchenko onto Tierney. Can he whip it in? Almost. Somebody gets a hand to it there. Aaron's into the box. Can Zinchenko get ahead to it? No. Lloris manages to grab onto it. And I think that might be the only highlight we get this entire game. Yes, that was the least eventful game I've ever seen. But it does mean that we do have a draw. We just need to see what sort of results the other guys get, especially that City-Liverpool game, I think, is going to be pretty important. Liverpool drew against City, Leeds beat Chelsea, and United beat West Ham. So, yeah, Man City have fallen off a bit these past couple of games, but we still do have 3 points between us and United, and we obviously have the better goal difference. So, I'm thinking with how boring that Tottenham game was, do we make this a 3-game episode and play the first leg against Napoli? I think we're going to have to. We're going to stick with the same sort of tactical style again, because we are away. We'll probably go a bit more attacking when we are at home, but the normal mid-block 4-3-3 formation, I think. We've got Jesus, Martinelli, Saka, Smith Rowe is back, technically, but we're playing him as a box-to-box midfielder, which is interesting. I don't know if that's necessarily his best role, but that's where the assistant manager has suggested. I think we'll just put Partey there, to be honest. Now, can we please have a more exciting game this one than we did at Spurs? It'd be nice to actually have more than one highlight in the entire game. We're not playing overly well, to be honest. I think we're going to have to move the lines up just to be able to get some amount of attacking in this. And they've got an injury on somebody by the looks of it. He goes for the shot, but it doesn't faze Ramsdale at all, and he doesn't even bother trying to grab the ball because he knew it would be going out. And we are apparently in control of the match. Not sure entirely how that works. Another highlight which starts with them. I'm going to say this time we regain possession, but we lose it immediately. Lokonga tries to go for the tackle, but it doesn't work, and our defence just opens up, but we are able to get it back with Jesus sort of sitting on the wing for some reason. Martinelli runs it up the side. Is anyone going to be in the box available for him to whip it into? On to Thomas, who goes for a shot and gets it in the goal. The amount of outside of the box goals we've had from Partey is insane. As we see the replay here, he just picks it up, turns around, curls it in, and that is us 1-0 up half time. And we certainly haven't been the better side. In terms of XG, they have, they've been the better side. You can see in terms of average positions as well, like neither ourselves or Napoli have really been able to push towards the other person's goal. We've pretty much just been having our battles in the midfield. Highlight here, 65 minutes in, Saka has got it. In the wing, Ødegaard through to Thomas, onto Jesus. Can he make it 2-0? He does. 2-0 to us now, and that is Jesus' 35th goal of the season. He has been absolute fire for us. insane. 70 minutes in, we should probably make a sub who's not been playing overly well. Looks like, I mean, they've all been more than 6.8, 6.7 rating, but we'll take Lukonga off for Scalvini, take Saka off for Smith Rowe maybe, and then Martinelli can come off. Actually, no, we should probably make a defensive sub. Saliba can come off for White. I think that should be good enough to see us through to the end, hopefully. We do have another highlight here, and it is them on the free kick. Raspadori forces Ramsdale into a save and earns Napoli a corner. Can they do anything with this set piece? Gabriel gets his head to it and clears it, but Raspadori is still on it. Puts it into Zielinski and ends up running it all the way to the back here. Napoli are still on the ball, but Gabriel once again has the defensive header and manages to clear it out of our box. Thomas through onto Martinelli. Is he going to be able to get it onto anyone? Smith Rowe, can he score from the sub bench? He can, and that is 3-0. Smith Rowe, the super sub. He hasn't been able to play in the Premier League for the past few games because of his red card suspension. But he makes it count in the Europa League, and we are 3-0 up. We have another highlight here. Jesus on the wing, puts it through to Smith Rowe. Yeah, he wasn't going to be scoring that, to be honest. But we had 3 minutes of extra time. We are almost halfway through it already. We still on the ball here. Odegaard onto Smith Rowe. Can he make it 2? No, he puts it a little bit wide of the post. But it doesn't matter. It does not matter because I was about to say that is it. That is 3-0, but they somehow have another highlight. No, that is it. That was a weird highlight. Literally nothing happened. They were playing well dirty. They had, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yellow cards. We had 1, but they had 5 yellow cards. And in the end, we did manage to out-XG them, but certainly not as much as the scoreline would suggest there. I think we are going to be heading to the Europa League final, assuming they don't somehow manage to win 4-0 against us at home. That is it for this episode. I'm probably going to do Brighton and then the second leg of Napoli off camera, and then we'll be back for the final 2 games of the Premier League, where we'll see if we can finally get Arsenal to win the league after many, many, many years. Literally, I think the last time Arsenal won the league was the Invincible season. So, yeah, it would be quite the achievement. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that fantastic stuff, and I'll see you next time.